So what happens is this: he blinds himself. And you think about that thematically, how beautiful that is as a piece of art, as a consistent use of language and themes that are also deeply true from the psychological point of view. He cannot tolerate his guilt. He cannot stand to look upon himself. The self that he thought that he was is now gone, obliterated. He doesn't want to see it anymore. He is now like Tiresias, someone who sees the dark, someone who sees the unconscious now, the unconscious side of life, the part of his life that he was never aware of. Now he will see only that for the rest of his days. He doesn't die. Jocasta is dead, but Oedipus does not. And his 4 children are still alive. Eteocles, Polynices, his 2 boys, Ismene and Antigone, his 2 girls. They're both still alive. And what follows after, he has done that deed to himself is a little bit of back and forth with Creon. Creon is somewhat conciliatory. He calls Oedipus an obscene thing. And Oedipus, in a way, sort of embraces his fate in a way that's kind of, I don't know if beautiful is the right word, but he realizes what he is, what he has done, what his crimes and what his guilt is about. And he says, quickly, he's talking to anyone who's around him. He's just outside the palace now. He's come out. He's bloody. The people are seeing him. The news is spreading around the city like wildfire. It's wrong to name what's wrong to do. Quickly, for the love of God, hide me somewhere. Kill me. Hurl me into the sea where you can never look on me again. And he beckons to the chorus. He kind of consents where they are, the town elders, but they all back away. He is now this holy and foul thing, this thing that is a combination of something sacred, because all of the guilt is now being resolved. It's concentrated in this one person who is now bearing all the suffering, and in a way that elevates him, that makes him a sublime sort of figure. Closer, it's all right. He can hear them shuffling away. Touch the man of grief. Do. Don't be afraid. My troubles are mine, and I am the only man alive who can sustain them. I'm suffering for you. And I think he says one more thing about it. He goes on and he says later, no sickness can destroy me. Nothing can. Wow. I would never have been saved from death. I have been saved for something great and terrible. I have been saved for something great. He's embracing the fact that he is now cleansing the pollution, the guilt of the community, which has made the Theban people sick. I have been saved for something great and terrible, something strange, because it's bizarre how human communities work. Well, let my destiny come and take me on its way. About my children, Creon, the boys, at least don't burn yourself. They're men wherever they go. They'll find the means to live. But my 2 daughters, my poor helpless girls, clustering at our table, never without me, hovering near them. Whatever I touched, they always had their share. Take care of them, I beg you. Wait, better permit me, would you? Just to touch them with my hands and take our fill of tears, please, my king. Grant it with all your noble heart. If I could hold them just once, I'd think I had them with me, like the early days when I could see their eyes. And then Antigone and Ismene, who were the younger of the 4 children, 2 small children, are led in front, in from the palace by a nurse. And we're basically to the end, because Creon says, you can no longer live here. You can be with your daughters, but you can no longer live here. And Antigone, in fact, does something very sweet. And she, here she's not shown as a little girl in this artistic rendering, but there's Antigone, there's Oedipus, he's blinded, he's not quite as gnarly looking as in the other picture. But here goes Oedipus, the end of a great man, blinded, the guilty, abhorrent thing. Look at the Theban citizens. You are the plague. You are the one. You are the one. Now we've identified it, and now we can sort of release everything and we can be cleansed. You're purifying us, but you're a horrible thing to regard. There's something untouchable about him, which makes him somehow greater than the average person. And there's something absolutely fearful and disgusting about him at the same time. And here is Antigone. And here he goes, moving off to the next stage of his life, which is recounted in the play Oedipus at Colonus, basically on three legs. If you consider Antigone to be his staff. And there is the riddle of the Sphinx. He was born to move around on four legs as a baby. Then he became the man of the world, so confident, thinking that he knew everything in his maturity. And now, as he's entering into the last phase of his life, as the scapegoat and the savior and the abomination of the community, he goes out on three legs. Maybe his life was actually the solution to the riddle of Sphinx. All right, I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you at September 20th. Bye.